She thought she was falling behind, not in a way she could easily explain. Nothing dramatic had gone wrong. Her life looked full, responsible, put together. She was a wife, a mother of 2, someone people depended on. Her days were packed with quiet effort. Meals planned, messages answered, appointments remembered, tasks finished without applause. And yet, somewhere in between all of it, a feeling kept showing up. A soft, unsettling thought, is this it? Did I miss something along the way? She noticed it most in the small moments. Late at night, when the house finally went quiet. Early mornings, before anyone else was awake. It wasn't unhappiness. It was something harder to name. A sense of drifting, like time was moving, and she was watching it pass. She used to believe falling behind meant failure, that life had invisible deadlines, and if you didn't meet them on time, you were somehow doing it wrong. Career milestones, confidence, a clear sense of self. She thought those things were supposed to arrive by now. Instead, she felt tired. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, tired of rushing, tired of feeling like she was always catching up. Some evenings, she would sit in her car after work, engine off, hands resting on the steering wheel, giving herself a few extra minutes of quiet before stepping into the next role she needed to play. One day, she stopped at a small cafe near her home. Nothing special. Warm lights, muted conversations. She sat by the window with a cup of tea, watching the world move slowly outside. A few tables away, 2 women were talking. Not loudly, just enough for pieces of their conversation to drift over. One of them laughed gently and said, "I didn't start my life until I was 36. The sentence landed softly, but deeply. There was no regret in her voice. No bitterness, just calm. On the drive home, that sentence replayed in her mind. I didn't start my life until I was 36. For the first time in a long time, something inside her loosened. What if life wasn't a race with checkpoints? What if some lives were meant to unfold slowly? She realized she had been measuring herself, using timelines that weren't hers, comparing her middle to someone else's highlight. That night, she didn't make a big decision. She didn't rewrite her life. She just allowed a new thought to exist. Maybe I'm not behind. Maybe I'm still becoming. The changes she made didn't look impressive. They were quiet, almost invisible. She didn't overhaul her life. She didn't chase motivation. She chose something calmer, discipline, but the gentle kind. She stopped letting the day begin without her, not with a perfect routine, or with pressure. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes before checking her phone, 10 minutes to breathe, to sit, to exist without input. She wanted the day to hear her before it heard the world. She chose one small daily non-negotiable. Just one. Sometimes it was making her bed slowly. Sometimes it was drinking a full glass of water. Sometimes it was writing one honest sentence in a notebook. She learned something unexpected. Finishing one small thing felt better than starting 10. She noticed how much noise surrounded her. Notifications, endless scrolling, information she never asked for. Her anxiety, she realized, wasn't always coming from her thoughts. It was coming from constant interruption. So she made her world quieter. She put her phone in another room while working, turned off notifications that didn't matter, chose 1 hour in the evening to be offline. Not to be productive, but to be present. Her body needed kindness too. She stopped forcing herself into routines that felt like punishment. Instead, she moved gently, walking after dinner, stretching before bed, standing near a window, and breathing. She treated her body like something she cared about, not something she needed to fix. Slowly, her definition of productivity changed. It stopped meaning doing more. It started meaning ending the day without resentment, stopping before exhaustion, resting without guilt. Discipline, she learned, didn't have to be loud. It could be protective. And then there was something deeper, something she hadn't realized. She was missing herself. Somewhere along the way, she had become very good at being needed. But she struggled to answer a simple question. Who am I, outside of what I do for others? She decided to explore again. Not aggressively, not to prove anything, just to remember. She gave herself real time, not leftover minutes, not stolen moments, real time. She tried hobbies without expectations. Some evenings she painted not well, not for anyone else, just color on a page. Other days she wrote a few lines, thoughts she had ignored for years. These moments gave her something precious, completion. Not because she achieved something big, but because she finished something that was hers. She stopped seeing herself only as a role. Wife, mother, worker. She remembered she was a person choosing herself. Didn't take away from her family. It softened her, made her calmer, more present, less anxious. She still has responsibilities, still has tired days, but now her life includes something grounding, something just for her. She understands now. Falling behind isn't the same as being lost. And it's never too late to arrive at your own life